What is going on, Headliner Nation? Jake, Fantasy Headliners. Hopefully everybody's doing well out there. We talk about Week 17 running backs, our quick and dirty top 30 here. And I get it. Not a lot of people play fantasy football Week 17. And if you're in a league that does, maybe thinking about changing it going forward because there's just so many question marks. You got rested starters. You got guys on injury that they're not going to push because the season is over and their team's not playing for anything. It's really difficult in Week 17 to have your championship rested in the balance of this scenario. So it's difficult, right? But we're still going to, try to get you through it. We're going to get you the top 30 running backs here for Week 17. Want to make sure I take a quick second and tell all of you guys out there Happy New Year. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to 2021. We'll put 2020 in the rearview mirror and really look forward to a great year coming up. But now it's the time. It's the time to set our final lineups, the quick and dirty top 30 running backs for Week 17. Start right now with number 30, who's going to be Nyheim Hines, the Indianapolis Colts. I've talked about the Colts a few times this week, and I really love this matchup for two reasons. One, they need to win, right? It's a must-win situation for the Colts. And B, they're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, who really have nothing to play for. They already know they're going to have Trevor Lawrence next year, so I like Nyheim Hines' potential in this offense to see some added touches. Got him at number 30. Number 29, Gus Edwards, Baltimore Ravens. Yes, Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins can coexist in this backfield because they run the ball so much in Baltimore and they get the scoring opportunities. In a matchup here this week going up against Cincinnati, got Gus Edwards, number 29. 28, this is where I have Leonard Fournette right now. Tampa Bay Buccaneers going up against the Atlanta Falcons. A, it's a difficult matchup, right? It's super tough to run against the Atlanta Falcons. And B, we don't really know what's going to happen yet with Ronald Jones. He's still limited in practice. He's not inside the top 30 until we can figure out what's going on. If we hear any updates, we'll post it on our social media. So make sure you follow us on Twitter and the community tab here on YouTube. But for right now, until we find out what's going on with Ronald Jones, Leonard Fournette's another one of those guys that could see some second half rest. That's why I got him right here, 28. 27 is Zach Moss, Buffalo Bills, and even though the Bills aren't going to go out there and rest their starters, it wouldn't surprise me to see a little bit more Zach Moss second half of this football game. Plus, he's got the higher touchdown upside, and he's still getting the touches on a weekly basis. Got him at 27. 26, Gio Bernard, Cincinnati Bengals, going up against the Baltimore Ravens. Not an easy matchup whatsoever, especially since the Ravens have to win this ball game. But Gio Bernard's involvement in the passing game over the past couple weeks makes him a slightly safer option. That's what we're looking for, is that pass-catching upside in a flex play here in Week 17. Got him at 26. 25, same type of thing for J.D. McKissic, Washington football team, going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. Word has already come out that Alex Smith taking first team reps, which means a whole lot of checkdowns going the way of J.D. McKissic. Not out of the ordinary for him to get 10 targets in a game. That's why I got him right here, 25. 24, Malcolm Brown, Los Angeles Rams, a matchup going up against the Arizona Cardinals and a banged-up offense, right? No Jared Goff, no Cam Akers, no Darrell Henderson, no Cooper Kupp, which means they got Malcolm Brown, and that's about it. The problem is the Cardinals also know that and could stack the box to take away the run and let John Wolford try to beat them down the field. It just adds a lot of risk. He's more of a low-end running back, too. Got Malcolm Brown at 24. 23, Wayne Gallman, New York Giants, a matchup going up against the Dallas Cowboys. A great matchup for Wayne Gallman, who struggled here as of late, right? He carried us here mid-season, and now is the time where hopefully he can help us close it out in a great matchup going up against Dallas. The touchdown upside we know is there, right? We've seen it all year long. We needed to see it again here in Week 17. Got him at 23. 22, Darrell Williams, Kansas City Chiefs, going up against the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, you don't see Le'Veon Bell's name on this list. A, he's still limited in practice, and B, we already know the Chiefs are resting starters with an injury to CEH. Is Bell considered a starter? And with him dealing with an injury already, maybe they just rely a lot more on Darrell Williams. Even last week we saw more Darrell Williams. That's the guy that I'm looking at in the backfield for Kansas City this week, going against the Chargers. Got him at 22. 21 is going to be Kenyon Drake, Arizona Cardinals. Super tough matchup, right? For him going up against the Rams, one of the best run defenses in all of football, and that's why he's been dropped down the rankings a little bit. He still leads this backfield in touches, and he still sees a lot of the goal line carries. Plus, we know Kyler Murray, not 100% dealing with a leg injury. If he can't run, who picks up that slack? It's Kenyon Drake. I'm looking for a lot of touches this week and hoping he can find the end zone. Got him at 21. Number 20 is Kareem Hunt, Cleveland Browns, in a matchup going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Doesn't sound easy, but we already know the Steelers are sitting a lot of their starters to get ready for the playoffs and keep everybody healthy, and the Browns are in a must-win situation. I got Kareem Hunt, number 20. Number 19, Antonio Gibson, Washington football team, going up against the Philadelphia Eagles last week. He looked fairly healthy, right? And this entire division is still playing for a playoff berth, and yes, that includes the Washington football team. Antonio Gibson, one of the most electric playmakers in this offense, and we saw him excel midseason with Alex Smith under center, got him at 19. Number 18, Jeff Wilson Jr., San Francisco 49ers, going up against the Seattle Seahawks. Still his backfield, right? Still going to dominate in touches. Still going to get catches out of the backfield, get the goal line carries. The work is going to be there once again for Jeff Wilson. Got him at 18. Number 17, this is where I put Alexander Mattison. Now, we already know there's no Dalvin Cook here this week after the passing of his father. So we're going to see Alexander Mattison if he can clear concussion protocol and get into the lineup. That's the biggest if here for Alexander Mattison. Now, it's a great matchup for him going up against the Detroit Lions. If he's totally cleared by week's end and he's practicing in full, he may climb up the rankings a few spots just due to how great this matchup is. But for right now, got him at 17. 16, his opponent in that game, DeAndre Swift of the Detroit Lions. Now, it's still unclear whether or not we really see Matthew Stafford or not. Probably not, which means hopefully a lot more DeAndre Swift in the running game because he is the best option in that offense on a weekly basis. When the ball's in his hands, good things happen, and they want to end the season on a good note. Got DeAndre Swift at 16. Number 15, Chris Carson, Seattle Seahawks. A fairly difficult matchup going up against the San Francisco 49ers, but I dropped him outside of the top 12 for a few reasons. One, they've already clinched the division, and I expect to see maybe a little bit more Carlos Hyde this week because there's no need to run Chris Carson into the ground a week before the playoffs start. They've already clinched it, but he's still going to go out there and play the game. He just may not rack up the touches. That's why I dropped him down to number 15. Number 14, Zeke Elliott, Dallas Cowboys. Now, a lot of people give up on Zeke, and I get it. He had a horrendous season, and a lot of people want to blame just Zeke for it. I'm not doing it. Losing an MVP caliber quarterback with Dak Prescott and the majority of his all-pro offensive line the entirety of the year, for the most part, we saw what he could do last week. He put up a 100-yard game, only his second of the season, and we know that Dallas is in a must-win situation. Got him at 14. 13, J.K. Dobbins, Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens, another one of these teams that have to win here this week, and they're still playing for something. And as of right now, J.K. Dobbins is the most electric piece in this backfield. Mark Ingram continues to be a healthy scratch, and they're just rolling with Dobbins and Edwards. Love the matchup for Dobbins this week. Got him at 13. 12, Miles Sanders, Philadelphia Eagles, going up against the Washington football team. Not the easiest of matchups, but this RPO with Jalen Hurts really opens up the opportunities for Miles Sanders. The big plays, they're coming because this is one of the most electric running backs in the NFL. All he needs is the volume. He's going to get it. Got him right here, number 12. Number 11, Melvin Gordon, Denver Broncos. A great matchup going up against the Las Vegas Raiders and no Phillip Lindsay, right? He's been put on IR, so all the touches, majority of the touches should be going the way of Melvin Gordon in a great matchup. Got him at 11. Number 10, Myles Gaskin, Miami Dolphins, and he really benefits from Tua being under center as well, right? Take some of the pressure off Tua, give the ball to Myles Gaskin because he's been producing whenever he gets volume. It's just what he's done all year long, and he's going up against Buffalo, who has a very skeptical run defense at times, and yes, they're going to continue to utilize Myles Gaskin. Got him at number 10. Number 9, David Johnson, Houston Texans, going up against the Tennessee Titans. A great matchup for David Johnson, and as of late, he looks like old school David Johnson, catching passes out of the backfield, getting touchdowns, finding the end zone. I mean, David Johnson has looked great over the past few weeks, and I expect the Texans to play a little bit more energized this week to end out the season after that pretty inspirational speech that we saw from J.J. Watt last week. Got him at number 9. Number 8 is somebody with no inspiration. It's Josh Jacobs. A lot of people hating on Josh Jacobs here over the past couple weeks. Last week, falling before he goes into the end zone. The week before, he gave the middle finger to the entire fantasy industry. I mean, he's been kind of a headache the past couple weeks, but what we do know, great matchup, lots of volume, really nothing to play for, and in the season, got Josh Jacobs, number 8. Number 7, Aaron Jones, Green Bay Packers, a difficult matchup going up against the Bears. The problem is what do we have to worry about with A.J. Dillon now? I mean, the guy went out there and tore it up last week in Lambeau. Does he get more touches to kind of rest Aaron Jones going into the playoffs? Wouldn't surprise me. Now, the upside is always going to be there for Aaron Jones. The touchdown upside will be there weekly for him. The problem is how much do we see of him this week? How many touches does he get? I think they're a little bit limited this week. That's why I dropped him down a few spots to number 7. Number 6, Nick Chubb, Cleveland Browns, going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Chubb will run against anybody. He doesn't care who it is, and the Browns have to win, right? The Browns have to win this football game. Therefore, you put the ball in the hands of the best player on your offense, which right now, it's Nick Chubb. He's number 6. Number 5, Austin Eckler, Los Angeles Chargers, going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs, who probably won't have the majority of their starters out there for the majority of their game. So hopefully Austin Eckler can carry you to a fantasy championship here this week because we didn't get to use him for the majority of the season. I got him at number 5. Number 4, David Montgomery, Chicago Bears, a game against one of the worst run defenses in the Green Bay Packers. A lot easier to run on Green Bay than it is to throw on them, and David Montgomery has been on a tear for the second half of the season. Hopefully you traded for him midseason because he's carried you ever since. Got him at number 4. Number 3, the once pit of misery, Jonathan Taylor, has now taken over fantasy football, and the fantasy gods have given you a Week 17 matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars when Jonathan Taylor has finally figured it out. He's in for a big week. Got him at number 3. Number 2, Alvin Kamara going up against the Carolina Panthers. A great matchup because the Panthers suck against the run, and Alvin Kamara can apparently go out there and score touchdowns at will now, second half of the season. Love it with Drew Brees under center. It really raises that ceiling. Got him at number 2. Which means, no surprise, King Henry, number 1 this week, Tennessee Titans going up against the Houston Texans. You get King Henry against one of the worst run defenses in football in Week 17 of your fantasy championships. You're never going to sit him. He's going to be a mainstay in your lineup regardless, but the volume's going to be there, the touchdowns can be there, and he's going to be my number 1 running back here in Week 17. All right, that's a quick and dirty top 30 running backs here, Week 17 fantasy football, the last one for 2020, right? 2020 is over. It's been a rough year for a lot of people, but hopefully we're able to bring a little bit of funniness, a little bit of entertainment to you guys here this year and try to ease the pain a little bit. That's what it's all about, but we're not stopping now. 2021 is right around the corner, and our videos go all year long. We don't take any time off. Yeah, sure, there may not be 11, 12 videos a week, but there's still going to be a few, so make sure you stay subscribed, and we're looking forward to communicating with you guys all year long. Hopefully you have a happy new year. Stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you later.